All right, quick check to see if we're live. Are we live on the air? Could be. Could also not be. Click on that goatformat.com, hitting the refresh button. We are so live. We are so freaking live. All right, quick check to see if we're live. Are we live on the air? Could be. Could also not be. Click on that goatformat.com. Thinking about maybe making an announcement, maybe? Do we announce the stream, or is it just a secret stream? A secret stream for me. Me and just me. I don't know. I've never made an announcement before, and so I'm like, is that really my space? Should I really be announcing it? But here we are. We are big chilling. And the reason we're big chilling is that the first match is meant to start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We're hanging out. We're hanging out for the next 5 minutes while everyone gets their stuff together. Hello, Mr. Big Noodle. Secret for you and me. You and I when you're playing Sight, I will coach you. I'll be like, don't lose. Please don't lose. Which is the only advice I can give anyone against Sight. Losers top 4. We are doing losers top 4 first, and then we are going to do winners top 4. And the reason for that is that if you look at the thing. All right, let's look at the thing together. Who are the duelists playing today? We have Sight. We have Sight, who got knocked out of the first round of the Obelisk into the losers bracket by Leah. I think Leah? Is that how you say his name? I'm not sure. Leah kicked him out, but then he's had a run. He's had a run all the way to round 3. We got Mr. Big Noodle, who did not get defeated until the second round against Leah. So Leah has been, he single-handedly popped both of these guys down to the losers bracket. And I have more to say about Leah. If Sight and Leah play against each other, I'll have more to say about that. Then we got our boy Shifty, who has not lost yet, and also Leah. I have thoughts about their decks. Their decks are pretty fun. They're pretty cool. Shifty and Lucky are playing first. I see. All right, I should change it to winners top 4 then. Thank you for letting me know. All right, let's hop back. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. I thought we agreed to do the losers first though, so that whoever loses between Mr. Big Noodle and Sight doesn't have to stick around for the rest of the day. Thought that was the idea. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I might be. All right, let's click over here and make sure we're not so fast. Does anyone want to quickly duel? Not so fast. Is there any interesting matches going on that we can just kind of like sit on for a bit? SS95 is a name I recognize. You guys want some SS95 dueling while we wait? You know what? Fine. As a treat. As a treat. Let me know, by the way, if the sound sounds good. Are things too loud? Too quiet? We got some music. Got some music to accompany us on this journey. Oh. I tried to change their sleeve colors as well, and as far as I am aware, that should already have happened. It should already have happened because I wanted a cool theme. Should have already happened. It's somewhat concerning. Can they please very quickly stop citing so I can check that out? Yeah, there it is. You guys see these Obelisk sleeves? You know, because we're playing the Obelisk right now. You guys see? Lucas hitting SS95 with he rolled a 6. You don't roll dice for duo. You do not roll dice for duo. Lucas, that's an automatic game loss for you. How do you change those themes you're doing? In this case, you are going to want to look at this. You're gonna want to look at that. You're gonna look at that. I believe this is the thing. This is the thing to look at. Man, music feeling a little loud. We're gonna bump that down. I'm bringing that down. Too loud. Yeah, you're gonna want to look at that thing. I made some other improvements on my own to Dueling Book, which you will not be able to include, but stuff like the dark mode over here, the background image, and the sleeve images, that's where you want that information. This music is going so hard. I turned it down for you all, but I did not turn it down for me, and I think I have to turn it down for me. It's going too hard. All right, now I gotta turn it back up for you guys because you probably can't hear anything anymore. All right, we're gonna run with that. Ben K? No, certainly not. Certainly not. Okay, all right, Leah is hosting. There it is. There it is, Duelists. There it is right there. There it is right there. Once we see this disappear, we're going to hop in. We're going to hop in so quickly. Not so fast, but quickly. There is an invitation to the GOAT Format World Championship on the line. On the line. I want to see, can I quickly check who has invites? Who has invites? All right, let's quickly look. Leah looks like does not. I know Sight definitely does. Mr. Big Noodle, do you have an invite to the GOAT Format World Championship? You do. You do. And then who is Shifty? Shifty is the remaining duelist. Does Shifty have an invite to the GOAT Format World Championship? It looks like no. No. All right, so what we're running with here, is it looks like the two in the winners bracket do not have invitations to the GOAT Format World Championship in October this year. But the two in the losers bracket do. And so the losers brackets can be fighting to deny access to the tournament. Seems kind of mean to me. Seems kind of mean to me. Sheesh, I don't know. Seems kind of mean. Leah versus Humpst. Big shift. Except Leah has a pitiful 130 AD low. A pitiful 130 AD low. Mom, I'm on TV. Oh, whoa, not so fast. You're watching. You're watching. I would duel you right now. I would duel you literally right now if I weren't streaming. I am a Mr. Big Noodle fan. Can we watch him? We can absolutely. We are going to watch every single match of this Obelisk. We are not going to miss a single one. We are not missing us. I will not allow us to miss a single match of this Obelisk. So yes, Mr. Big Noodle versus Sight is going to be an insane match. Both of them are running some pretty insane spice right now. Right now we are waiting for Shifty to wake the frick up and lock in. We are waiting. He said he's coming 4 minutes ago. I kind of want to click this, but then what if we enter a match and then I have to duel him? In fact, I don't think I can click it because I have a deck that is totally not code format loaded right now. I wonder, would it tell me? If I click this, will it be like, yo, you're not ready? I kind of want to click it. Grumple wants Sight or Shifty to win. I want Sight to win. Sight's my boy. Sight's on my team, and I want him to win. I'm rooting for Sight. Though coming from the losers bracket, it's not easy because once you get to grand finals, you have to do a bracket reset to eliminate the winners champion. And so it is double elimination. It's a cruel mistress. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of heart. We are keeping. Nobody wants to play goat format right now. Literally, no one's. Oh. Guys, it looks like it started. All right. We did not even miss RPS. We are in the duel. Got the Obelisk sleeves. Looks like Shifty was the superior rock, paper, scissors player. We got a set one before the pitch of Thunder Dragon. What does that tell Leah? What is this? What does that tell us? Set one pass. Set one Thunder Dragon pass. That is a clean +1 though. We enjoy clean +1s. Oh, getting that plus back. Thunder Dragon for both duelists. Statistically a likely occurrence. Statistically... Okay, we got that trap dust shoot. If Shifty is a bro, or if Leah is a bro, they will type out what we have in the chat. So the viewers can benefit from the knowledge we are about to experience. If they love the viewers, they will do it. We are taking whatever this card is, which is Breaker, the Magical Warrior, which tells us that this card is probably not chainable. Maybe. It might be. Sometimes you just don't want to waste your ring on Breaker. We're just passing. Okay, so that took Shifty's best option, it looks like. Dekoichi, the battle chanted locomotive. Getting the, again, a clean +1. Do we have a frickin' Tsukuyomi? Do we? Deko getting the +1 and also getting in with 1400 damage means that this Dekoichi has done more than its... Oh. That's interesting. Are we fishing for Sook? Are we fishing for Sook? Or was the rest of... Does this tell us that there was only Breaker and Thunder Dragon in hand? Because that's not a card that you mind getting broken. And like, you don't necessarily want to protect this Dekoichi. Getting in the 1400 is a really nice kind of treat. But like, if he had a spy or something, you probably take the spy, right? And so it must mean that he must not have any other monsters. I think you even take a... Do you take a Chaos Monster? Do you take like a Chaos Sork over the Breaker? Oh, we have... Oh, geez, we were lagging hard. Okay, there's the Chaos Sorcerer. there's the Chaos Sorcerer. I wonder if he had that in hand before. Who knows? Oh, well, he wrote yes. Alright, so this is looking pretty rough. Yeah, I'm going to say this is looking pretty rough for Shifty, because unless he drew another normal summon, which I don't think he would, because if he did, then I'm thinking Leah just dumps that off of Dust Shoot instead of the Chaos Sorcerer. It really depends on what this card is. If it's like... Okay. We are not flipping it. It could still be Moth. It's probably not Sangan. It's probably not Spy. It's probably not Deco. I'm thinking that's exactly Sinister Serpent or Moth. I summon Z-Cat. Welcome to the Watchers chat. This is pretty rough, though, because our friend Shifty is looking down the barrel of 3 monsters on fields and has not successfully been able to summon yet this game. We are entering the tank. Looking at the graveyard, we have each duelist has only with the 1 light. Each duelist has 2 Thunder Dragons in hand. We could be playing around TT from Shifty. It is eminently possible. Hello, Pestilence. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good Friday. Shifty's doing big think here. He's like, how do I win a dual monsters match without ever drawing any monsters? How do I win that? Evans GR Speedburn? Okay. It was the TT after all. That's pretty good. And it was the Moth after all. And Sinister Serpent. Okay. So that is a clean 2 for 2. Unfortunately for Shifty, he really would have preferred to have summoned this Takoichi or set it, because you really kind of want the value. Are we playing into Trap Dust Shoot? Looks like no. Looks like we got away with it. Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer is devastating. You have to take it out. Devastating. Because you have Light Dark. Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer in the main deck is devastating. I wonder what Shifty's thinking about here, because if it's something like Regeki Break, I think you have to, right? You already have Thunder Dragon in hand, and so you kind of just have to get rid of this Kaiku. It could be Mirror Force, but I think if it's Mirror Force, you also have to just get rid of the Kaiku, right? It's Ring. Okay. I think, yeah, I don't think you have a choice there. I think you're really hoping for this top deck Chaos Monster to get you out of this situation. They are currently equivalent on cards. We know in Leah's hand there is a Sinister Serpent and 2 Thunder Dragons. We know Shifty's hand there are 2 Thunder Dragons. He's having a really hard time finding a monster here. Breaker is in the opposite way the absolute perfect monster in this situation. You know Ring has gone, and so the chances of this, I was going to say, not going neg is very, very small. I don't think there's actually a card in remaining trap in the deck that will not go neg other than something like Pro Set, Trap Dust Shoot. Or I guess Jar, but I don't know if Shifty's playing that. Once again, have not found a monster for setting. This could be anything. We haven't seen a Spy from him yet, and so I guess increasingly likely that is just Gravekeeper Spy. We also have not seen Knock, and we know that Shifty has a ton of spell traps, and so this could be Knock coming down. This could also just be Sinister Serpent. Let's see. It's a Magician of Faith. Wasn't really threatening much. Getting an Upstart Goblin is a clean +1, which is pretty nice, but neither duelist has any of their power spells in grave. Sinister would make it not neg. That is true. I think if he had Sinister, though, he'd be setting it, probably. Though, I don't know. Again, we haven't seen any knocks from Leah, and so maybe you don't just want to, like, lose your Sinister Serpent. Who's playing in this Obelisk? This is the winner's top 4 with Shifty and Leah. The loser's top 4 are Sight and Mr. Big Noodle. And so we're pretty excited about that match. We are pretty excited about that match because that match is going to go pretty crazy in terms of the spice load. Hopping over into the chat. Mr. Big Noodle advocating for Sights and he to wait for this match to be over to play, and I would really kind of prefer that. That would be pretty nice. All right, so we dropped the Bless. The Bless is finally here. We had that Dakoichi in Graveyard, so that Dakoichi is doing a lot of work. We are going to be banishing the Sinister Serpent. Okay. Okay. That's an interesting sequence, because we kind of checked for knock. We're using our Moth, and then we set... Okay. Pro set Heavy Storm. What does that tell us about this card, I wonder? Pro set Heavy Storm being sniped by an MST is pretty rough. Nice Jar of Greed. Nice Jar of Greed. There's the Tribe Infecting Virus. We do still have a Thunder Dragon. We have 2 Thunder Dragons in hand, right? And so this is pretty free. This is pretty free. He pro set Heavy Storm next to a Mirror Force. That is what we call non-normative GOAT format dueling. We're pretty excited about it. Literally awesome. Literally awesome. Alright, we're setting a card. Is this finally the Gravekeeper Spy that we've all been wanting to see? That we're hankering for in our lives? Who else just wants more Gravekeeper Spy in their life? Anyone think that Gravekeeper Spy, like you're dueling and you're like, man, I hope my opponent has Gravekeeper Spy. I hope so. Anyone ever think that? Maharagi looking excellent. Maharagi into Spy is okay. You guys ever play GOAT format and you attack into a face down and you've already typed the minus 2000 minus whatever your monster's attack is? Have you ever done that before? And then the second they flip it, you hit the enter key because you know it's coming. He misclicked the face down, but Leah does not care. That does tell Leah that he has 2 spell traps in hand, probably. So, or he did. So we know one of the cards is Maharaki, one of the cards is Thunder Dragon, and we know just Thunder Dragon in Leah's hand. Heavy Storm, Goaders. Goaders a pretty good card in this junction. Do we have that sweet, sweet Metamorphosis? Setting an additional card. It could be 3rd Spy. It could be 2nd Dakoichi. Could be Mystery 3rd Moth. That was in hand. But I think if it's 3rd Moth, you set that instead of Sinister Serpent. Alright, Shifty gets, due to the effect of Maharagi, he gets to look at the top card and either place it on the top of the deck or at the bottom of the deck before he makes his draw. He's given a big think, which means that this card's not poo-poo, but it's also not something insane either. It's probably, I don't know, it could be Chaos, it could be Chaos Sork, and he's like, can I make that card online? Can I hopium my way into the Chaos Sork? Could be something like Snatch Steel, and he's like, I could use it to out these Gravekeeper Spies, but I don't know what to do after that. I think he's really kind of hoping for Metamorphosis. He elects to add it to hand. He does not trust the top of his deck to give him something else. Which game is this? Which SW or AP? I don't know what those acronyms mean. But this is winner's top 4. The first game of winner's top 4. You have not missed. You've missed nothing. You're here. I'm here. Boom. Software or app? This is neither. This is a browser-based game. He did have the meta. I'm thinking meta is pretty excellent. You take the spy, you crash into spy, you lock this card down for a turn. Obviously, you are looking pretty bad into a chaos monster, but that's true no matter what, right? We are summoning the Maharagi, which is a pretty excellent summon when you have Tear Up. Because even though you cannot attack this face down, you are still getting value from your normal summon. I really kind of like that. Not gonna lie, I kind of really like that. Heavy Storm is gone from both players, and so we can, and also Moth, and so we can be pretty sure that you can set whatever face back row you want. We're going to Snatch Steal. The Thousand Eyes Restrict. I guess suck up the token? It's an interesting play. It eats up Thousand Eyes Restrict's capacity for kind of nothing, but then you kind of gotta get rid of the Snatch Steal. And we're going to do that by tribute setting Thunder Dragon. Okay. Why are we tribute setting here? Why are we tribute setting here? TT's already gone. It's not lethal. It's not lethal to have this Thunder Dragon up, but TT's already gone. And Mirror Force is already gone. I don't know what our thought process there was. Pretty efficiently got rid of Shifty's entire board, though. Shifty does get the benefit of Maharagi to check out how we're grooving. He very quickly elects to draw that extra card, so that top deck was something good. Mirror to Tikon, why not attack both? That is a very good question. I am not sure. I guess it plays around Snatch Steal. Because now he cannot just snatch Thunder Dragon attack over Dekoichi, but I don't know if you care if he attacks over Dekoichi, right? Depends on the rest of his content of his hand, but we're playing with 3 cards that are not fake. They're 3 unknowns that are live in some fashion. Guessing Leah forgot TT was gone. I don't know. I don't know, because I feel like you don't... I don't know, maybe. Yeah, because I'm thinking even more, right? You kind of want to... You're thinking it's maybe Scapegoat, right? And so you kind of want to attack into the goats. You kind of want to get rid of the goats. Interesting that Shifty very, very, very quickly took the top deck of his Maharagi pool, but then is giving kind of a big think about what to do with it. Goats would have fit terrible. I agree. We are halfway through the deck and we only have the 1 goat, so we're kind of increasingly likely to see another. I would bet that one of these 2 cards is probably goat. Could be something like the top deck of Shifty was exactly Metamorphosis, and he has set goats, and he's like, okay, well, I need one of the goats to live, but am I going to die? Am I going to die? This is a big, big stink for both of these players, Shifty and Leah. A invitation to the GOAT Format World Championship is on the line. And so being kicked down to loser's bracket It's looking, you're still looking pretty good, right? Because you snatch steal. Still looking pretty good because you don't have to win that much because you did make it to the semifinals of winners, and so that's pretty far, and so it doesn't knock you that, like, you don't go down that much. You would have to, whoever loses this, if they make it to grands, they will have to beat the other person twice, and so that's pretty rough. Do first and second get invites or just first? It is only first as far as I'm aware. It is the winner of this gets it. It's pretty brutal. You don't have to win a big tournament if you go through Academy, but you have to be the winner of many subsequent tournaments. We are taking Dekoichi, the battle chanted locomotive, and putting it into defense mode. That is an interesting play. Reminding him to go plus 1,000 life points. You're going to Nobleman of Crossout. What's probably the Maharaki, if I had to guess. Indeed it is. Maharagi has 1,700 defense points, which is notably more defense points than Thunder Dragon has attack points. Thunder Dragon next to the Spirit Reaper. And the way that this was ordered, I'm thinking Leah definitely knows that TT is gone, because otherwise he would have summoned Spirit Reaper before he knocked to check for TT. And so he has something else on the brain. Shifty's thinking about this. I'm thinking this is telling me that this is not Scapegoat. Because if it were, I think you just kind of immediately drop it, then you flip goats and let the Spirit Reaper take one. I think that's like kind of your only play. So this could be something like Raigeki Break. And if you Raigeki Break the Thunder Dragon, that means Spirit Reaper cannot get over the Snatch Stolen Dekoichi. But do you really want to hold on to the Snatch Stolen Dekoichi? I don't think you do. I think that taking that card, it's not doing much for you. And we are going to get a hand rip. Oh, this is rough. Okay, never punished. Never punished. Interesting, we set the Maharaki instead of the Sinister Serpent. Tells me that he probably does not have meta in hand. Maybe Sinister Serpent was the draw. We are getting Sinister Serpent back, which puts these duelists on equal amounts of cards. This has been, card advantage-wise, this has been a very, very close game, but it feels like Leah's been in command for most of it, which is also interesting because I'm pretty sure Shifty went first. And so we'd have to really kind of review the tape to see, like, at what point, what was it that made Leah kind of take the lead here? Never mind, Ashura Priest is going to be threatening a +1 and some pretty big damage. It looks like, all right, we're getting it. However, obviously Ashura Priest is going to go back to hand, and so we are risking losing one of our cards if this is not live, and it probably isn't, right? Because it didn't take out the Spirit Reaper last turn. Tsukuyomi is going to set the Spirit Reaper. Reaper's going to pop right back up. And this is pretty risk-free. This could just be Raigeki Break, but I think, yeah, again, I think if it's a Raigeki Break, you just use it. All right, what are we hitting here? Hopefully Sinister Serpent, if you're a Shifty fan. Hits the Ashura Priest. That's a little bit rough. Unfortunately for Shifty too, he really can't set Sinister Serpent this next turn if he gets nothing else, because Spirit Reaper can just hit over his defense mode's Sinister Serpent, and then Su can go for game. Doesn't the Reaper die? Why would the Reaper die? Oh, no, because it got targeted by Sook. No. Reaper's effect, it's its effect itself that kills it. And so when it goes face down, it no longer has an effect. The effect's no longer like on the field to kill it. Graceful Charity, obviously one of the biggest rips ever. One of the biggest rips ever. What is the prize for first? The prize is an invitation to the GOAT Format World Championship. That is the prize. Tsukuyomi is going to flip this down. Because you see, if you read Spirit Reaper's effect, which now you can't because I got rid of it, but it says after resolving an effect that targets this card, destroy it. And after it's been resolved, it's already face down. Alright, so that was a pretty big swing. Now we have a Spirit Reaper here. Shifty's actually technically now has draw priority because he has 4 cards on Leah's turn. My card advantage tracker is not working perfectly right now, so I think after this duel I'm going to refresh the page. We are going to be knocking the Spirit Reaper. And you know it's going to come down eventually. We only have 13 cards left in deck. We've only seen 1 Chaos Monster from both the Duelists, which is pretty weird. Alright, we have a Book of Moon. I guess that makes sense. That's been set for a while, and like you don't want to set a Spirit Reaper, because what's that going to do, right? You don't necessarily want to set a Chaos Sorcerer either, because one of our Nox is gone. You really kind of would have loved this creature swap. You would have loved that creature swap. Setting a card. Metamorphosis, yes. Very unfortunate that you had to set the Chaos Sorcerer, because a 2300 Chaos Sorcerer would be really nice right now. I applaud Shifty for summoning Terran Defense mode. You never know when the opponent has a sneaky skill drain. Sneaky skill drain. We did know about the Sook, however. So Sook's going to go pretty clean +1 there. But Shifty goes plus back. Dig into our deck a little bit more. You do not really care about the difference between 5,700 and 6,700 life points. What you do care is that Leah has not used Ring of Destruction yet, and that's getting increasingly likely. There's an 8% chance he just drew it. 8%. Is this Ring of Destruction? Is this exactly Ring of Destruction? Time to draw a Hinotama. That would do it. That would do it. Is Reaper on the Nightmare the same? Yes, it is the same. It works the exact same. The text is a little bit different, but it does work exactly the same. Got our boy Sight in the Watcher's chat. He's checking out what's the competition look like. Reaper in the Nightmare dies if targeted and is still face up on resolution of the target, but if it is face down, then no, it would not die. Yeah, and again, the reason is because the reason it dies in the first place is because that's like it's an effect of that monster, right? And so it has to be face up in order to use its effect. And so if it's face down, there is no effects anymore to use. It doesn't matter that it was targeted. It's just like the card no longer is using its effect. I think that also means that I'm actually not sure about. This I'm not sure about. I think if you use Snatch Steal on a Spirit Reaper, it does technically switch to your side before blowing up, right? It should. Equip Spells might be different, though. The resolution of its targeting might just be the activation. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm pretty sure it would actually technically switch sides. Okay, we're hitting the suspected Ring of Destruction. It is actually just our friend Regeki Break going for the other back row. We are thinking that this is perhaps our friend Sinister Serpent. It is a % Nobleman of Crossout. Alright, so we're thinking about what to do here. All of our Thunder Dragons are gone, so we can no longer just like tribute summon Thunder Dragon. You're just going to set another card. What could this be? We have not seen any spies, but I'm... Oh. Very interesting. It was Sangan, but it does not matter unless we have a Karibo coming from the wings here. We do not. All right, that is one for Leah. I'm going to very quickly refresh my page so I can get the card advantage tracker working again. We're going to hop back in quickly before they're done siding. Boom, we're back. You don't want to argue, but how come? Well, I can explain how come. I can explain how come. All right, so let's say you have Reaper on the Nightmare, and you have Book of Moon, right? They activate Book of Moon to flip Reaper on the Nightmare down. Reaper the Nightmare cannot blow up during Book of Moon's resolution, right? In Yu-Gi-Oh, you cannot interrupt an effect resolving, ever. There's no case where you can, like, a card will do something while another card's resolving, and so it has to flip down first, and then once it's down, the basic premise of the rule, like, it no longer has an active effect, and so it cannot blow up. Aren't these add-ons distracting? Well, the only add-on is the literal one. The rest is just graphical. If you don't like this, I suggest you put your hand up against your computer screen and block it physically with your palm. Delinquent Duo coming down. We are thinking. I'm interested to hear what sort of interaction you could have. Obviously, there's Jar of Greed if you want to try to protect some high-value cards in hand. You do not roll dice for duo. You do not roll dice for duo. And if you insist that you duo, I'll have to come and kill you. Oh, this is crazy. Come on, Leah. Just use discard random. Come on. Come on, we can't be doing this. Oh, gosh. I suppose that this is probably one of the cards that Shifty was thinking about protecting. You could see if Book or Sook targeted before they started resolving. I mean, they target on activation, right? Should be DQ'd for rolling that many times. I'm not gonna argue against that. Ideologically, I agree. All right, we're dumping a Magician of Faith. That probably tells us that we're not dealing with a whole bunch of really good spells in hand. We're probably not rocking Pot of Greed. Thunder Dragon's going crazy. So we went +1 off of Delinquent Duo. We went +1 off of Thunder Dragon. That's pretty rough. He indeed had the Jar of Greed. I think you maybe try to protect the BOS. I don't know. Maybe you're really far away from making it live, and so you're like, that whatever the top card of my deck is maybe just better than BLS. And then maybe BLS can be the light for my other discard. That is also true. Furugi, what Furugi says is also the case. You're gonna go +1 again with Gravekeeper Spy. Things are kind of getting out of hand here. We have 8 cards. Just Shifty's 5. Shifty's gonna get a free search off of Sangan here, though, which is pretty nice. For another Gravekeeper Spy. That makes sense to me. Obviously, basically anything that Shifty gets is going to be weak to Nobleman of crossed out, and so would you rather get Spy crossed out, or would you rather get Sinister Serpent crossed out? We had 2 jars, okay. Okay, we're fighting back with our own Delinquent Duo. Unfortunately, we know that Leah has some Thunder Dragons. You do not roll dice for Duo. You see, you just roll and then you click a random card anyway. You roll, like, there's no way that 6 represented whatever card that was. That was just a random click because, you know. Haiku the Ghost Destroyer is a pretty good follow-up. Unfortunately, this is going to be placing Light Dark in graveyard anyway, but you do have this Kaiku up as a floodgate, and so long as you can protect this Kaiku, we're not going to see any chaos coming down. We should be worried about this face down, though. This face down being Magician of Faith would be really, really hard. Even Dekoichi would be pretty rough. Tsukuyomi. Tsuk is so good. Over time, I'm just convinced Tsuk is just like an amazing card. Shifty playing around Mirror Force. He's not flipping this card. He is flipping this card, Magician of Faith. And so I think that's a pretty heads-up play. He didn't want Shifty to know during that interaction that protecting Kaiku was like a really kind of important thing to do. Didn't want him to know that he was going to lose some cards. Oh my goodness, that's so rough. Taking the Gravekeeper Spy that we got off of Sangan is just like not an easy thing. Tsuk got banned for a reason, that's true. And it's at 3 in GOAT format. Does anyone know any decks that play it at 3? I don't. Maybe we should build one. Hello, Wonder Maker. Everyone click on Wonder Maker's profile and go listen to his music. Go listen to Wonder Maker's music. It's really good. It's really good. Okay, and so in this board state, you have a face-up Magician of Faith. You know the guy has Tsuk, and so you're screaming at yourself, I have to get rid of this Magician of Faith or else I'm going to die. And this is how you're going to be doing it. That makes a lot of sense to me, but, you know, Tsuk flipping Spy, getting another Spy is going to be pretty good. Shifty's getting whooped. Damn, it does seem that kind of way. I do not think that there was much he could have done. I do not think he's made a mistake. Maybe he should have jarred of greed to try to protect BLS, because BLS would have been like a really nice answer. I am floored that he did not go for the Gravekeeper Spy Tsuk play. I'm supposing that means that this is exactly Gravekeeper Spy. I'm trying to make music, but I only have GarageBand. It is Dekoichi the Battle Chanted Locomotive. I don't. This is interesting. I'm still thinking we have Spy in hand. We must. Duel. Even if there were like the semicolon problem solving card text break, you still can't interrupt the resolution of the card with something like Reaper. You can respond to it, but Reaper can't respond. Because even if it were placed on the chain, it would still fizzle. Hello, Clash. Thank you for watching our progression series. It has been a lot of fun. Better luck next time. Yeah, I brought something silly. And so, you know, when you lose bringing something silly, you don't feel that bad. You don't feel that bad. All right, we got our friend Thunder Dragon. That's gonna help with some of the card advantage deficit. I gotta say, Shifty's kind of come back with this a little bit. We are flipping Gravekeeper Spy to attack mode. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Only one Dekoichi got banished, and so you're thinking that maybe there's a Dekoichi. Did I drop some frames? No, I just got, whoa. I just got an alert that OBS disconnected. I've never gotten that alert before. But yeah, it feels like Spy should have, like, not very many defense. We are flipping Spy. Is my theory correct? I think my theory is correct. He's about to say no targets. Indeed. Indeed. I'm thinking you have to attack with Spy. I guess in either case, that didn't really matter. Now, Leah is not normal summon, so he could do something interesting like summon Sook, flip this guy back down, but you probably don't want to do that considering that these are both... I mean, this actually represents a pretty serious situation. You don't really want him to get it over. Okay, we're going to be committing to Chaos Sorcerer. Leah, to me, seems like he's playing pretty careful. He's playing pretty careful here. You like the background? Thank you. I think it's thematic because we are playing the Academy League Obelisk Winners Top 4. Spy would be so much more balanced if it couldn't search itself. Indeed. Indeed. And it's funny because like in later formats, Spy, like you just like choose not to search another copy of it because there are better Gravekeepers. All right, Tribe Infecting Virus is going to go very, very quick +2 because Sinister Serpent's just going to come back to hand. We are electing to give Leah his own Sinister Serpent, however. And Leah's like, nope, Sangan is big value to me. I don't know about that. I'm thinking you probably hold Ring. Unless you can go for lethal. Unless you have like Heavy Storm, normal monster, BLS. Even then, though, you can still win with that hand, letting Sangan go to grave. So I'm thinking if you're shifty, I don't know what you're thinking about here. I don't know what could be part of the calculus. You're not running Trap Jammer like Mr. Big Noodle. When is Noodle's match? Noodle's match is going to be right after this one. We are going to stream all of the top 4. And the next match is losers top 4. Which is Sight versus Mr. Big Noodle. Sight versus Mr. Big Noodle. Book of Moon from the hand. Rare. Rare occurrence here. Well, we know that Sangan can't get over Tribe. We know that that's the case, but we also know about Sook, right? And so we know Sook can get over Tribe. Pot of Greed looking pretty good. Sight versus Big Noodle, gonna be a banger. Sight taking it home? I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to see what the interaction of their decks is going to be because they're both running incredibly weird things, but almost the opposite. Almost the opposite. Weird ways, but almost the opposite. We are summoning the Gravekeeper Spy that I've long suspected is in Leah's hand. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. Do we have what we need to protect this tribe? I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking yes. Looks like Discord's down right now. Are you guys having Discord troubles like I'm having Discord troubles? Noodles on the sauce, the pasta sauce. That's actually hilarious. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Guys, I accidentally clicked out of it. I accidentally clicked out of the duel that we're all watching. All right, I'm so sorry. We're gonna get back there. I'm gonna click these buttons so fast. And we are gonna lock in. We're so back. All right, what he did was he activated Regeki Break, pitching a Thunder Dragon to get rid of Spy. That makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me because you really want to keep this tribe. I'm thinking you flip tribe. Okay, a little Upstart Goblin. Leah is still 2 cards ahead and draw priority, which in Goat format, being 2 up is significant. That's a lot of cards. Cool background. Thank you. We are going to be flipping Tribe. We are going to be dumping that Sinister Serpent. You might as well get some extra damage, and this doesn't cost you anything. I think at this point, it's Magician of Faith. Okay. We are taking that. Shifty goes up on life points, which is interesting. Discord working for you. Well, send a message to Mr. Discord saying, please make it work for Petty Bourgeoisie too. Maybe the app will work. I just want to make sure we're not missing any of the action with Sight, Mr. Big Noodle. I know they're planning on waiting, but I think that this match is going longer than people suspected it would. Thank you, Dekerki. Dekerki? How does Bluetooth say it? How does Bluetooth say your name? However Bluetooth says it, I want to say it that way. I don't know. We have 70 viewers. I feel like that's a pretty good amount for an Obelisk. We had a few hundred for the GFC, but a GFC is a major, and so I'm thinking this is pretty good. I'm happy. I'm happy we're here. Pass Prile. Are we gonna hit him with that dirty dust shoot? That dirty dust shoot. We know he has Sinister Serpent. I believe we know he has Sinister Serpent. We know he has a Thunder Dragon. And we are electing to send that Sinister. I think that makes sense if you can't get rid of the tribe immediately. Unfortunately for Shifty, if he cannot get rid of this face down, I'm thinking he's looking down the barrel of a Moth right now. And now that he's gotten rid of Shifty's Sinister Serpent, you grab Duo? I think you grab Pot of Greed. I think because you're... Oh, whoa. Okay. Like we have the Trap Dust Shoot, right? And so we're checking for knock. Does he have it in hand? And so this next set, it's... You know what it is. Dekerki. Dekerki. That makes sense. Alright, we're electing to attempt to get rid of this instead of sending off Moth. That makes sense to me. This is probably the most threatening thing that Shifty has represented this match. Gonna go for that quick +1. Back to being up 2 cards. Anyone else just chilling? Anyone else hitting the like button on the stream so goatformat.com knows it has your support? Anyone else? Only me? I was the first person to like it, and I haven't refreshed the stream, and so it looks like there's only one. Is Big S on CT or CC? He is on CC. He is on the Chaos Control. He has not seen very many scapegoats. He has seen one scapegoat this match, which is rough. You're seeing 10 likes? I'm down with 10 likes. Most other streamers would be like, we have 60 viewers, 70 viewers. We can do more than that. I'm happy. 10's good. If please do not like the stream. Keep it at 10. Keep it exactly 10. Round number. Comfortable. Familiar. All right, Shifty's doing some looking around. He's like, I need this invitation to the GOAT Format World Championship. I am not going to let some bird take it away from me. I'm going to pull this out. 25 likes, 28 likes. That's so much more than 10. That's too many. Frankly, that's too many. Too many likes. Looks like Leah, are they truly +3 right now? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's +2 and draw priority. It's +2 and draw priority. This is not right for some reason. How did you put the life points in profile pictures to the middle? I coded a plugin to move them to the middle because I thought the stuff being on the left and the right side of the screen was just wasting some space for streamers specifically, because now we can have my head on the bottom and like a little thing on the top. And it's kind of annoying to have to like look away for the action to find people's life points. I think it's just better to have it in the middle. But yeah, I coded it myself. All right. Are we finally setting this Magician of Faith? Is it finally happening? Getting rid of Sinister Serpent with knock is incredible, considering the fact that we dust shot it back and then did that to it. That's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. Thank you, DeKirky. There are a lot of things about the interface that I would like to change. I coded it like a year ago, and I'm better at coding now, and so there are things I like to change. My holy grail is to create a setup that looks exactly like Forbidden Memories. I think it's possible. I think it's actually possible to do using just CSS. But I haven't had time to do that. Are we going to flip them off? And if we're going to flip them off, are we going for the knock? Are we going for the Pot of Greed or the Delinquent Duo? I'm thinking either Pot of Greed or knock. It could be knock. I think knock's actually really interesting here, because you can knock it and then you can summon Sook to flip this guy back down to threaten a Pot of Greed next turn. Someday Petty is going to use vibe coding to fix this. You are totally right. Vibe coding is exactly what kind of guy I am. If you looked at my code base, you would be like, this is disgusting. Another Moth. That is not what you want to see. Another Pot of Greed. Everyone take a look at this number over here at the end of this turn to show you how many more cards Leah has. Yes, floating board and a black void, I agree. Unfortunately, it has like some amount of like 3D effect, which I think would be difficult to code into Dueling Book. And I don't even know if you want 3D, because like the 2D appeal is that everything's like very, very clear. Army of Scapegoat. Sorry, this number is not going to be as crazy because the way that it's coded. One orange goat, hell yeah. One orange goat's crazy. The way it's coded is to count all of the Scapegoat tokens as cards, which not everyone agrees that a goat token is worth the same as a Magician of Faith. And so it's not going to be as crazy. Shifty is mega cooked. I think the fact that Leah left 4 goat tokens indeed means that he is mega hooked, because we all know what the most likely card is in this hand. Because this Magician of Faith is going to go back. We need to give that Magician of Faith back, yeah. And so we are completely full. I mean, meta to take this face down is... You have to do it, right? Because otherwise you just flip them off and you're just going to go even more plus. Sight going to cook you? It might happen, Mr. Big Noodle. It might happen. I know y'all here to watch the Mr. Big Noodle match. To be honest, yeah, Mr. Big Noodle, he approached me. He was like, can you stream this? And I'm like, yes, but only because it's you in sight. If it were not you in sight, I would be less interested. All right, Creature Swap's looking good here. Creature Swap, unfortunately, he cannot flip this Moth this turn, even though he would, I'm sure, love to. I'm happy he did not give the orange goat, which is the cutest of the goats. I'm happy he did not give that one away. I want to sign up for Attorney, but I'm not confident in my ability to operate Dueling Book. What I would recommend is starting with the unrated matches on Dueling Book, moving into some ladder matches after that, once you're feeling a little bit better, and then once you're feeling great on ladder, you hop into some tournaments. Tournaments are so fun. In fact, there are 2 tournaments today that GOATformat.com is sponsoring. Every Friday, there are 2 tournaments. I believe at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, try solo mode. Solo mode is underrated. Solo mode is underrated. We are going to keep this Magician of Faith in attack mode, because we do not want him to have that goat, I guess. You're going to tribute set. We are afraid of Moth being face up. Dust Tornado on the TT. Yeah. I mean, you would probably TT this tribe if that's about to come down. We only have 10 cards remaining in deck. And just like last time, we just have not seen very many Chaos Monsters. We still have one Sork and one BLS. And I'm very much suspecting we have our friend Tribe Infecting Virus in hand. The best list is going to be 5 Exodia and Horus. Okay, Sinister Serpent. This is telling me for sure we got some Chaos action. Is the Humble Chaos Sorcerer with an additional 7 cards in hand. He is currently up 6. That's pretty rough. Yeah, we do have the MST. Trap Dust Shoot would have done something. And Leah wins the match. Shifty moves. He is not eliminated from the tournament. This was winner's top 4. This was winner's top 4. And so he is not eliminated from the tournament. He simply goes to loser's bracket. So he will have another chance to face Leah in grand finals. Let us show the bracket. It looks like the bracket's not going to be able to update because the bot is currently down for maintenance. But yes, you'll see that Lucky is going to move to the finals, and then we are going to be watching Sight versus Mr. Big Noodle presently. And then Shifty is going to move to the semifinals and losers. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. We just make sure our friend Sight is not already playing. He's not. So we are big chillin'. Academy is great, indeed. Mr. Big Noodle is now hosted. What do you think the password is? Do you think I should try the password? Do you think I should try to type in the password? No, I shouldn't. That's rude. Mr. Big Noodle is immediately ready. He's like, it's time. It's time to duel. It's time to duel. Yes, he had an absolutely insane War League season. Selfishly, I want Sight to win this match and make it grand finals over Shifty because I want them to have a rematch because they were pitted against each other in War League back when both of them had like stellar records. Like Leah was like 8-0 and I think Sight was like 7-1. And it was crazy. And Leah, unfortunately, took the W. So I want Sight to get revenge. But yes, I out of these folks, Mr. Big Noodle and Sight have already gotten their invites. And so I'm thinking we would like to see Leah at Worlds. All right, everyone. It's time to lock in. Time to lock in on what duel people probably have come here for. It is the Sight going throwing down Delinquent Duo. No hesitation. Clicking this card. He did not even roll a die. He hit that Snatch Steal. Snatch Steal, pretty good hit. Zeit, like time, right? Oh, because the Time Wizard. Oh, that's actually awesome. You are Nuggets Hoopster. You're awesome. Stein, Swill, Yamazonist Goats. Reported. 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 Mr. Big Noodle given a big think about he main deck Zing Zenhu. The main deck Zing Zenhu is very interesting to me. And the reason it's interesting is that he's playing Trap Jammer. And I saw in his replays that he waits until battle phase to activate this Zing Zenhu. And then they chain one of their cards to try to stop it. And then he flips his Trap Jammer. But like Zing Zenhu is not what I would consider to be a typical battle phase card to activate. And so I think it's a really kind of cool innovation that Mr. Big Noodle has worked on. We're fighting back from the Delinquent Duo with a Graceful Charity. We do not hate that. Sight is currently up a single card. Main Zing is a Noodle special. That makes sense to me. He does have the support for it, I think. And you definitely just lose the game if you play into it accidentally. You just lose the game. Mr. Big Noodle giving some thinking. Trap Tamer is spicy. I wonder, I know that Mr. Big Noodle's playing a whole bunch of Solemns, and so I'm thinking like, see, there's one of them. I'm thinking that like he's like 7 Tools of the Bandit. Too many life points. 1,000, I don't always have 1,000 life points, and so Trap Jammer is just like, if I always play around it, it's just like free. But I don't know. I'm thinking you probably just play 7 Tools, right? Alright, Pot of Greed's Graceful Charity into Pot of Greed fighting back. Dumping Reckless Greed tells me 2 things. Either he doesn't think he's going to be able to OTK, or he doesn't think that he really needs like a whole bunch of help. He's like, his hand's fine. Sight, will he drop the 1 orange goat? It looks like no. The 1 orange goat is a shifty special. Trap Dash Shoot. Will one of these duelists be a homie and tell us the contents of the hand? Who knows? Maybe they will. But maybe they also won't. You know? Sometimes they do, and sometimes they're like, you know what? No. You can banish them for stream if you want. Mr. Big Noodle, literally a homie. Snatch, United We Stand, Trinade. Too hard, says Sight. You can use the discard hand. Command. Use the discard hand. Is there a banish hand command? I don't think so. Okay, but yeah, we're dealing with Snatch, United We Stand, and Trinade. And Call of the Haunted. And we got rid of the Visor Shock, but Sight's not really upset about that. Sight would really rather Visor Shock be probably in the deck. Though he does have this Call of the Haunted, so it'd be even better in Grave. You are hoping that Noodle is going to summon Obelisk the Tormentor. Unlikely. Alright, we have a Giant Trinade, which is obviously very good at Snatch because it means that we can hit one of these cards. Unite We Stand's also pretty good because like we have 4, so that'll be 3,200 onto probably a Go token if we want to use that card. Which if I know Sight, I'm thinking he might want to use it. Sight's he's a damage player. It is much easier with Sight's deck to kill someone at 4,000 life points than it is at 8. But I could also see holding onto it. He knows that Mr. Noodle knows that it exists, though. And so I'm thinking that you play it, right? Thinking you play it? This Call of the Haunted's not looking great. You're really kind of hoping to hit a really good card off this Don Zalug. Does anyone else prefer the Sword Don over the Gun Don? Like, censorship is lame in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think, generally, but the swords went pretty hard. They went pretty hard. Deity Designator. You think there's a banish hand? That would make sense. Okay, we are going for United We Stand play. That feels like Sight to me. Sight is not... Sight is operating at full capacity. Get that Don Zalug in first. Sight not going to roll a die because he is not going to waste our time. He hits Blackluster Soldier on Void at the beginning. Obviously very good hit, but then it is not an active card currently. And so it's kind of like, well, we know one of these cards is back row because we got rid of it with Trinade. Can he handle Donald plus Humongous Token? I think it's going to be hard. What decks are these? Sight is playing his swag deck, his classic swag. Mr. Big Noodle, I think it's difficult to say. It's a hand control deck, but it's also warrior, I would say, probably. I think he's also playing white magical hat though, which is not a warrior. And so you might just say it's hand control. Mr. Big Noodle can maybe chime in after the match is over and let us know what he thinks it is. The original art of Ultimate Offering does go hard. Did you know that it's actually been released in the TCG now as a lost art? I have not gotten one. Big Goat Boy indeed. And we have our Champ Leah and the Watchers. Mr. Big Noodle's lagging. That is sometimes what Dueling Book does. 3,200 scapegoats admittedly funny. The only thing funnier is a 4,000 scapegoat. All right, we're going to set our entire hand. What does this tell you? It tells you that he probably doesn't have much to stop this Dawn from hitting in to TBH. TBH just feels like Dawn can get in. That could not be the case, though. Final Flames OG art is also insane. That is true. It is much more violent. It is much, much more violent. Did anyone get the United We Stand card during COVID? The like inspirational Konami, like we're all in this together COVID card? I thought that was really cute that they did that. All right, we're attacking with a token. I think that makes sense. There's some big booties in Mr. Big Noodle's deck. This is not one of them, though. A very, very close. Will he mill? That's the question. Close to 5,000 Cyberstein is the saddest Cyberstein. But it looked like my theory was correct. These cards are not something that can stop a Dawn hit. And therefore, Mr. Big Noodle set them. He's thinking about whether he wants to mill. I'm thinking that you don't. I agree. I'm thinking you do not. Setting versus swag is actually a good strat. I agree. I agree. They often they have to resort to something like Gatling Dragon, and we all know that Sight's Gatling Dragon flips are not very good. Sight, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But we all know your flips are bad. Unless they aren't. But they were recently bad. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Fridays are very good. My semester just ended, and so I'm big chillin'. Big chillin' in my yellow shirt. I'm gonna maybe order lunch during the stream, to be honest. Getting a little bit hungry. You're just gonna set another card. We are gonna set another card into this humongous Go token. Now, something like MST onto United We Stand would be pretty good. Something like MST onto Snatch Steal would also be pretty good. Something like Heavy Storm would be very good. Something like those cards. Something like any of those cards. Very good. Anyone else ordering lunch on Uber Eats right now to where they live, and so they don't have to move? And they're anxious about it because they don't want to eat on stream? Because that's kind of gross. Anyone else? Just me? Alright, we're simply attacking again with the token. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Alright, Sangan's probably the best top deck you could have had in the deck, to be honest. I don't know what his targets are in his deck for Sangan, but in the situation in which you're like forced to set a monster so you don't die, pretty good. That being said, if he truly cannot stop Dawn from attacking, then this is just going to go to the graveyard, and so you're just deck thinning with this. It looks like we might just be deck thinning with this, which is a pretty rough spot to be in for Mr. Big Noodle. Looks like we might just be deck thinning. Indeed. Indeed. What am I ordering? I'm ordering a chicken sandwich. I'm ordering a chicken sandwich. I agree eating on stream is kind of gross. Yeah, once it gets here, I'm the fastest eater this side of the Mississippi River, and so I'll probably just turn my camera off for like the 10 minutes. Then I'll eat it, and then we'll be done. We are setting yet another back row. You would do that no matter what, though. And so does Sight have the gall to just attacking with Go Token and Dawn? I think, yeah, he does have the gall. Is this going to be enough to get him through? Indeed. Oh, well, one feels a little bit bad for Mr. Big Noodle. He did not have much of a chance there. I think that the cards were just not flowing for him. Cards were not flowing from him. Sight's going first, and Sight's activating a delinquent duo was pretty important for the success of our friend, the Time Wizard. Was pretty important. Hello, Steve from Long Island. I love that. I don't know. That seems wholesome. I hope it's wholesome. I hope that is wholesome. Boom. Oh, we're having some lag. Okay. We are lagging out a little bit, guys. Swagged, indeed. Though, did he even swag that much, though? The Mississippi doesn't have sides. I think it does. I think it has a very clear east and western side. But yeah, I don't know. Did swag? I'm not sure it did. I think it did not swag. The dreaded mid-match GGs. I did see Sight drop the GG, and then Mr. Big Noodle did not immediately GG back, but I think it was because of lag. And so, but originally I'm like, oh, Mr. Big Noodle's not happy. But no, Mr. Big Noodle, he's fine. He's fine. I think the mid-match GG is one of the most controversial things that comes up in Yu-Gi-Oh. People, every month there's somebody in GOAT General that asks whether mid-match GG is BM, and I think there's different opinions. And what's interesting is I think the different opinions a lot of times are region based. Like I have seen GG1 feels European to me. And I say European, it feels German to me. A lot of German players go for the GG1. Or the GR1. I've seen GR1 sometimes. Americans, if they do it, it's always GG, never GG1. Dropping GG after completely stomping your opponent is so funny. You know what? It is. It's kind of funny. Good game, get wrecked from the goatformat.com official channel. Whoa. That's not me, guys. I'm just a streamer. I don't get access to the keys. Pot agreed. Mr. Big Noodle, he slams that down. He's like, okay, you had duo last game. I have pot this game. Let's freaking go. Romulus, you always do GG1. Are you European? Are you from Europe? You are not from Europe. Do you have a European soul? Somebody just sent me a message, but I am way too scared to open that on stream. So we are not going to open that. I'm sorry, whoever sent me the message, but we are not opening that. Because it could be something crazy, and we do not want that on goformat.com stream. Free healthcare sounds nice, so yeah. Honestly, real. Trap Dust Shoot. Are we gonna get the homie Mr. Big Noodle in the chat typing out what we got? Quick chicken check. Very quick chicken check. I am... It pains me to say that the chicken is nowhere near where I live. Another Trap Dust Shoot. We're going to get rid of another card. Another card. What are we getting rid of this time? We're clicking it. Tribe Infecting Virus. All right. That makes sense. All right. What remains is Snatch, Blade Knight, United We Stand, and once again, we opened with Delinquent Duo. And we are throwing that boy down. TT on the Blade Knight. That was always going to be the plan, I suppose. We got rid of a knock and a compulse. I mean, knock's not looking great in this situation anyway, and so compulse going, like, also not really looking great because, like, he doesn't have any monsters anymore. Hilarious that he has Snatch and United We Stand again, though. The chicken has been checked. Indeed. Indeed. That is a Graceful Charity off the top, looking pretty good. The site special acid trap hole, and we're getting rid of United We Stand, which is an unknown card. And so what we know about the hand now is just our friend Snatch Steal. Pot of Greed looking pretty freaking good. Pot of Greed looking not bad. Anyone got a valid Discord invite to the goatformat.com Discord? Or to Academy? Which one are you asking for? Oh, the invite is invalid in the YouTube description. We should fix that. Berserk Gorilla coming in. Berserk Gorilla coming in. Trying to very quickly get an invitation to goatformat.com's channel. Invite to server. Service resources being limited. What? Huh. I don't think it looks like I can't right now. I don't know. If somebody else can get an invite to the GoFormat Discord and drop that in the chat, that'd be helpful. I think Go players have too much ego problems. I say GG each duel, and that is tradition. I kind of agree with the grumple. It's the handshake at the end of the match etiquette, and I think the handshake at the end of the match should be extended by the loser, is what I think. Where I'm thinking like chess rules, like you say GG to indicate the match is over, and that you admit defeat. I think that's how it's done in almost every game. I know that's how it's in Age of Empires. It's very, you throw that GG to show that you're about to admit defeat. Saying GG1, GG2 helps me keep track of game count. Little known fact, if you hover over the chat, this little refresh button will appear. And if you click that, it'll show you the game. At the very top, it'll show you the current score. So, game's already got something for that. We are currently 0, Mr. Big Noodle 1, site 0 ties. Yeah, I don't know why they hide that feature, to be honest. Are we tribe infecting virus coming back from the depths of trap dust shoot? We are attacking in. We are hitting the very, very spicy mass sorcerer. And would you look at that? 2,000 life points left. This is lethal on board. Mr. Big Noodle's having a pretty hard time. Though, I don't know. Sight's gotten some Trinity. He's full trined with only 12 cards deep. That's pretty good. We did open with pot. And we did have double trap dust shoot, which is pretty nice, but looks like that might not be enough. Whoa, goformat.com. You're saying some crazy things right now. Hello, Lodo the Hero. We're all just hanging out. We're watching the... Oh, this is not winners top 4. My bad, guys. This is not winners top 4. This is losers top 4. I just got another... You guys, you can't message me during the stream. You're just going to be tempting me to click it. I can't click it. That sounds like Karem. That does sound like Karem. I'm not going to lie. That sounds like Aaron. But then you say it sounds like Aaron, which implies that you're also not him? Are there more people than one on the goformat.com login right now? What is Noodle sets? That is a very, very good question. I'm suspecting it's some... Oh, high value set. I did not think that was going to be the case. That is a very clean +1. That is a very, very clean +1, which we need in this situation. Now I'm really kind of curious what the set monster is, too. Mass Sorcerer has such neat art. It's crazy. That art goes insane. That art goes absolutely crazy. Streamer calling featured players losers? I don't think I ever used the L word. I don't think anyone's a loser. Zing Zen. Okay. All right. We did not summon this turn, and so we're not going to get absolutely out of our mind Giga owned by Zing Zen Hu, but that is an amazing card. That's amazing. Side OP? Could be. Could be. Could be. Could be a little bit OP. Mr. Big Noodle, probably pretty upset about this scapegoat. Scapegoat's gonna get in the way. Hits him with the capital T, think. Hits him with the capital T, think. I'm gonna go take a quick look at the Academy chat to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm not. Alright, we're all good. We're hanging out. Mr. Big Noodle's thinking. He's thinking. Surprised he kept Sork versus a scapegoat deck. What Sork? Who's Sork? Is Discord working now? It is. I think there's still some problems, but it is. I was able to connect at least. I connected. Oh, he's really deep in the tank if he's shuffling. Mass Orc. Yeah, I concur. I concur, DeKirky. I'm surprised he plays Mass Source at all. It seems like kind of a cute thing. It's like you probably just play more Dons, right? You probably just play more Dons. Though I don't know. It's a last will target, you know? It's a dark. It's a spellcaster. Mass Orc is OP in critter format. I have heard that before. I've heard that is the case. Oh, he just moved. He moved columns. He moved columns. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. He dodged. He dodged. Interesting spice, but not enough zest. That's an interesting way to put that. I think I might agree. MST. Oh, wait, that's the zinged one though, right? Am I crazy? Or no? Is this the zinged one? Yeah, now I'm kind of with you, Grumple. I actually don't know. I don't know which one's which. I assume this one's not the zinged card, because why would you ever MST the zing card? It was not. That makes sense. Thank you, Romulus. All right, we're fighting back with our own duo. This is pretty good. Mr. Big Noodle has, I think, done a pretty good job pulling this back. I don't know about the shuffle once, please. I think that you could just say use discard random if you're going to make him do something. We got rid of that Snatch Steal, which Mr. Big Noodle has known since turn 2. Petty, he won with Mass Sork, his first invite this year. It clearly does something. My rebuttal to that, Clash, is that I have an invite to the GOAT Format World Championship, and so anyone can do it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I respect Mass Sorcerer. I am not a hater. I am not a hater. I mean, obviously he's in the Obelisk with this deck too, and so I'm not a hater. I think it's cool. I think it's good. It's not good against Sight, but it's good against other duelists. I've watched some of Mr. Big Noodle's replays. It performed. It performed. That's a straw man. Well, Snatch being gone makes Noodle being able to play more freely. I agree to Kirky. I'm thinking that this has been face down this entire time because Snatch Steal was in hand. Oh, that's, I guess, not the case. Though, whoa, I guess we must have another set monster. Or else you're in trouble. He's going to leave one because he's going to creature swap. He's going to Zaborg. That is a very interesting play. That's a pretty heads-up play. You don't see that often. All right, so Sight has 2 cards, basically, and so does Mr. Big Noodle. But Mr. Big Noodle has a big booty 2400 guy. I don't think Mass Sork is good against anyone. That's rough, Grumple. Did he just double normal summon? No. Assura Priest was pro set. He flipped it up. So no double normal summon. Hopefully the push pays off. I'm kind of rooting for Mr. Big Noodle in this exact instance. I kind of want to see game 3 because both these decks are really kind of neat. BrainCon for game would be really sad. Not gonna lie, BrainCon would be rough. BrainCon would be really rough because you're going +1. You either win the match or this card is being activated to stop the Zaborg. I'm thinking that Mr. Big Noodle's position on board has a lot to do with the strength of this back row. If this is real, if it's something like, oh, okay, we're just going straight to battle phase. We know this is getting in because this card is locked. Another back row is pretty strong. You actually don't really necessarily want to summon another card because you could just lose to any number of things. I mean, he loses right now to summon Injection Fairy Lily. Alright, Giant Trinade basically always means that you lose if it resolves. And so if you can stop this in any way, that's pretty good. In this case, it might not mean that. It might just be that Sight's trying to get this card out from under Zing. But Mr. Big Noodle is probably sitting behind his chair thinking like, oh man. Oh man. Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment off the top is humongous for Mr. Big Noodle. It's the largest card. Best card he could have topped. Best card. Can Sight push through anyway. It does look like he will get at least one more turn, even if he passes with this on board right now. Reinforcement of the army. Okay, are we just gonna go for like a mid-range, like exiled force play maybe? Is this Pike's GC Go Control Quish Noodle player? No, it is not. It is a hand control kind of warrior style deck. Cannon Soldier would be insane off of Reinforcement of the Army. I kind of wish you could grab something like that. I know you have Amazoness Archer, which is kind of like that, but that requires a little bit more setup. Reviewing the deck, I wonder what we're doing here. Amazoness Archer, okay. So, you know what that tells... I'm not going to say it, but you know what that tells you. You know what that tells you. He's going to set it. Enemy controller. Okay, so he just didn't want Archer. I was thinking that maybe this card was going to be Scapegoat, and he was going to hard play it. And then just hope that no tribe in his future. Enemy controller on Amazoness Archer is insane. It's similar to Snatch Steal. And we're kind of thinking that he doesn't have an answer because he played that entire time to get rid of Snatch Steal with Duo. So this might be it. He's handing it over. If he can stop this, it's looking pretty good, though. Oh, that's it. Oh, and what's the call? The Honda, which we knew about, right? Sight takes it. That was a pretty good match. So it was a 2-0, but I think Mr. Big Noodle did a really good job in kind of clawing his way back into the second game. There's that exiled force. But yeah, Sight chose the I want to win this turn route. GG's. GG's. All right. Let's pop up the bracket. Let's do boink. There it is. All right. So the next duel is going to be Sight versus the loser of the winner semifinal, which was Shifty. And so it's going to be Sight on Swag versus Shifty on Chaos Control. Exciting. Exciting. All right, so this is what we call in the business. This is what we call in the business. Losers finals, right? Losers finals. You guys ever go look to see how many people are playing Genesis format? Oh, it's actually kind of, there's like 6. Before there was like 1. I was like, man, that's rough. That's rough. All right, let's take a look. Sight's asking in the Academy chat whether Shifty is ready to play, and so we are in wait mode. Oh, gee. What a fun finish. Love to see it. Thank you for being a member for 33 months. Coachformat.com really appreciates it. Your support goes back into the community and prizing and making sure that we can do fun events. Here goes calling people losers again. I feel like I have not used the L word. Sight had a lot of Trinity game too. He definitely did. He definitely did. But Mr. Big Noodle, he found a way. He found a way, I think, to kind of like stabilize. It was pretty... That enemy controller into Zaborg play was pretty good, but I don't think that's where Sight would have wanted to be. I think Sight would be like, yeah, that was my play. I had to make it. But Mr. Big Noodle did a good job. Oh, I see. Losers finals. That, okay. All right. I see. Now I get it. I did use the L word. You're right. So yeah, we're big chilling. We're waiting on whether Shifty is available. And quick chicken check. 3 minutes away. 3 minute away for chicken. 3 minutes to chicken time, guys. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. Throw up that. Let me throw up that bracket again. Throw up that bracket. Throw up that bracket. All right, enough of bracket. No more bracket. You had your time. You had your time with bracket. Now it's me. It's me time. It's me time. It's me time. That being said, let's go back to the bracket. Do you guys? Isn't this guy cute? The guy in the bottom with the sword and the crown. He's pretty cute. He looks kind of mad though. He's like a little bit mad. Not a lot. A little bit. All right. That's enough. That's enough of that. You had your time. I gave you two times. All right. All right, Shifty. You gonna duel? Shifty says coming. Shifty said coming 1 minute ago. Looks like we're about to get our duel. As a reminder, whoever wins this loser's finals will go into grand finals, and then they will have to beat Leah twice, which is historically something difficult to do. That duelist is pretty dang good. Sight already has an invitation to the Go Format World Championship. However, Shifty and Leah do not. And so, if we're hoping for another duelist into the Go Format World Championship, got a 2 out of 3 chance. Is anyone playing traditional unrated right now? No. No one's playing rush duels. No one's playing speed duels. Everyone's playing GOAT format. There's like as many GOAT formats as Edison right now, which is pretty neat. You love to see that. I feel like Advanced has kind of fallen off a little bit. Yeah, I feel like they haven't gotten, like they're not a whole lot more than the retro formats. I'm always curious to see, there are a lot of people who play Advanced unrated compared to every other format. It's interesting to me. Itachi Hisoka is insane. That's an insane username. Both those characters are awesome. Speed Duel was a cool idea. I think Genesis format was also a really cool idea. I think if I ever were to try to get into Modern, I would probably play Genesis, because I feel like it's, even though it really just feels like Advanced minus pendulums and links, but otherwise is like functionally identical, I think it's a really cool idea. I hope that Konami keeps up support of it, even though it doesn't seem to have that much kind of interest at the local level. Like I went to my own like locals here where I live, and it's only Advanced players. But I was like, okay, maybe they'll play Genesis format. Maybe I can get into Genesis format. And Konami forces the card shop to play a Genesis format tournament every month. But otherwise, people do not want to play. They are not interested. And I like sat down. I sat down to like, I'm like, okay, somebody teach me how to play Advanced. Teach me how to play. And so they broke out a Yummy deck, and they broke out, I don't even know. It's like a DDD deck, or DDDD to 4Ds. I don't know, but it's like, it was not meta, but it was insane. I'm just like, I'm sitting there, and this guy goes off combos for like 30 minutes, like truly 30 minutes, and then the opponent just concedes without like even going to battle phase, and I'm just like, whoa. And then I'm like, well, what could he have done to stop it? And he's like, well, he could have used this hand trap at the beginning of the match instead of when he used it. But then he didn't do that, and he lost, and I'm like, whoa. So yeah, I'm thinking GOAT. Goat's got a little something. All right, we're beginning this match with Shifty against our boy Sight. It looks like Shifty won rock paper scissors, which I think he won against Leah as well. And so this boy is having a lucky Obelisk. A lucky Obelisk. DDD is a very complex deck. It seems that way. It seems that way. It seems that way. All right, friends. Chicken just got here, so I'm gonna turn my camera off so you can't eat. You can't see me eat, but I'll keep commentating between bites of chicken. All right. All right. BRB. All right, friends, I was gone, but it looks like I did not miss much. We have a Swords Revealing Light activation, which flipped the Gravekeeper's Spy, which is not what Sight wants to see. Which is why not what Sight wants to see. But Sight does enjoy being able to sit behind the swords for a few turns and accumulate more cards. DDD is the reason why combo spreadsheets were invented. Okay, I can kind of see why it took forever for him to combo off then. Unfortunately, no more chicken jacks. Maybe next time. You can't have too much of a good thing. Sorry to be quiet, but I'm trying to like devour this so we can just go back to like normal commentary. So bear with me for a few minutes while I consume. I'm surprised that Sight has not fielded a single monster yet. I mean, we do have this Injection Fairy Lily that got knocked. Swords is expired, so we're expecting some pressure coming pretty soon. This is not the first pro set Ashura Priest we've seen in this tournament, which is pretty funny. A pro set Cyberstein. Whoa. Okay. That's very interesting. I'm wondering if Sight thought that that was like a fair thing to do since the first knock is already gone. And so he's like, what are the chances of having a second one? We've got something like a friend mirror force down, maybe. There it is. That's an interesting play. We did not need the Dark Engrave, so I'm not sure. I think he probably just turned Spy to attack mode, right? Attack? Do you really want the extra damage? Or do you think that the 1600 stat line is going to be relevant? It bumps with Blade Knight, I guess. Whoa, okay. This is pretty big. No chain, okay. Will he have a chain to this? He does, okay. Whoa. If Sight didn't get greedy with Ring of Destruction, he could have just been like, okay, Heavy Storm resolves then, and then Shifty would have lost his scapegoat. That's rough. Maybe you don't even use Ring here. I think you maybe just don't even use it. I think, depending on what Sight has, I think maybe you just don't even use it. It would be pretty incredible if you could kill with 8,000 damage without having Cyberstein, though. Whoa, okay. Wow, we're going for it, okay. I do think that the scapegoats are more valuable for Sight than they are for Shifty, and so I think I agree with that. But seldom do you see so many Go tokens go down at once to a tribe. That is the card that we need to get out of this, I think. Okay, something's up here. What are we doing with this? This is pretty fragile. MST ruins his life. Oh my gosh, he gets through. That's crazy. Sight is so awesome. It would be especially awesome if this face down card were Scapegoat. Okay, that's a pretty big BLS here. I mean, Scapegoat would actually be something that would help. Scapegoat actually outs this BLS. Because he would attack Amazon's Archer, maybe. Or he probably should just banish, I guess. You're probably too afraid of this. Because if it is Goats, you'll attack Amazon's Archer, he'll activate Goats, you'll get a replay, he'll attack 2 Goats, but then Amazon's Archer is bigger than BLS. And so you kind of have to banish, which is just a +2. Oh, whoa, okay. This goes back down to 14, though, which is enough to kill anyway. Because you can attack with both of them, and then just use Archer's effect and main phase 2. This is a pretty big swing. I don't know what Sight can do to stop this. This is only 1400. Which Sight is aware of. Okay, he's not dead, but if he goes into main phase 2, he is dead. So, what are we doing here? Makes sense to me. Sight is doing some writing. Hit him with a GG. All right, this is game. Going into game 2. That was a pretty long game 1. It was pretty back and forth. I think that Shifty was pretty much in command most of the time. I think that pro set Cyberstein getting knocked was like a really big deal. I think that was kind of like the turning point. But we'll have to see when these duelists side what sorts of nonsense they can bring in. Okay, we are back at it. And it looks like Sight is going to get to go first. Will he delinquent duo his opponent like he did before? Will he have that card again? Looks like no. All right, we are so back. We are so back. We ate so fast that we were gonna have acid reflux later. We are going to suffer for it, but we did it for the GOAT world. So now we can actually engage with the gameplay. Gameplay, engage. That is a quick 1,000 life points. That is truly insane that both of these duelists are probably playing Berserk Gorilla at the same time. Both of these duelists are probably playing this. All right, so we're hitting it with the Berserk Gorilla plus TT. Not exactly a normal first opening move, but I like it. I like it. The big thing. The large consideration. You're going to be taking that gorilla. Are we going to change it to defense mode? Or are we going to attack? We are going to do neither of these things. It's a pretty good move. That'll do 4,600 damage. 4,600 damage. Last will. Okay. What are we going to get? Cyberstein into, like, Last Warrior would be pretty crazy. I can't imagine that's his plan, though. It could just be Injection Fairy Lily, and that represents lethal next turn. It is going to be Cyberstein. What are we going to get? King Dragoon? Alter? King Dragoon. That makes sense. It's pretty all in, though, because you have fewer life points than your opponent, even though you had this big push. Trap Dust Shoot makes things a little bit easier to manage. I cannot believe that he was able to snipe this Tribe Infecting Virus. Yeah, Shifty's like, yeah, we all know which one you're going to be taking. Snatch? Probably Knock, right? Breaker, Magician of Faith, and Tribe. Sight corrects it because he knows he's on stream. He knows. I think Breaker attacking into Cyberstein makes a lot of sense. We've already seen Snatch, so that's not going to be a breaker into value. But neither is this breaker going crazy either. So we have the... Man, this Blade Knight's pretty good. We don't have Moth, right? We have Moth, but we don't have like a good Moth target, and so Moth's just like not good. Snatch Steel's gonna be able to take the Blade Knight though. Obviously it can't get over King Dragoon, but yeah. I think you do definitely take it, right? You definitely take that guy. Otherwise you lose the game. And he's got a Moth in hand and Knock, and so I think you definitely set the Knock so you lose less life points. Yeah, I mean this is almost certainly Knock, right? And this is certainly Moth, and so I think if you're Sight, you really want to attack this Moth first so that he can't get Snatch back. This extra 1,000 life points is looking pretty good. Loser's bracket has stamina disadvantage too. Yeah, that's true. I mean, after this, you have to go. You need 4 games against Leah, man. That's not easy. That's not easy. And Leah, by the way, he's just like, he's eating some chicken right now. He's at my house. We're eating chicken together. You're eating chicken together. Sangantha's pretty good because it can get over this Magician of Faith before getting over the Blade Knight. Never mind. Sangantha's pretty good because it is going to win the game. Assuming that this other back row is exactly knock and not something else. Indeed. Alright. I'm going to very quickly BRB to throw away my plate of trash. Be right back. Do you guys ever get something shipped to you from Amazon and they say it arrives and then you go look outside on your porch and it's not there? Has this ever happened to you? And if so, did you crash out? Or did you hold it in? Let it build up? Did you crash out? Or did you hold it in? I'm holding it in. I'm currently holding it in my heart. In my heart. Alright, but we're gonna freaking lock in. We're gonna freaking lock in. All right, this is game 3. Shifty gets to go first, which is a fairly significant advantage in GOAT format. It's pretty big. I wonder if it's bigger than other formats, because you can just drop Pot of Greed. That is a legal play. And you also can drop Thunder Dragon, so you're going first and you also just went +2. In Sight, for his case, he's like, well, card advantage doesn't matter. But then he saw that they also have Graceful Charity after dumping Thunder Dragon. He's like, well, this is looking worse. This is not looking as good as it did before. Are we dumping the Sinister Serpent? We are not. Okay, at least that's not happening. So obviously this is looking pretty good for Shifty. However, if Sight can stabilize after this like turn, then I think that things are gonna look okay. Giant Trunade. Okay, are we playing this because we have a kill? And this is a pretty fast played Trunade too. He did not seem to really think about it for very long. Imagine it's less important than in Modern. You're probably right. Who is doing the stream? It is I, Petty Bourgeoisie. Thank you. We are electing to allow this treaty to happen. I wonder, what does this mean? Nobleman of Crossout. And to the Magician of Faith that if you did not Nobleman of Crossout and this duelist got to keep playing the game, would have been really, really rough. And so what are we looking for here? Are we looking for Cyberstein into, once again, King Dragoon because that was good enough last game? Or are we looking for, like, Master of Oz? Whoa, King Dragoon because it was just good enough last game. Sight is like, I won with this singular card last time, and it is just going to be good enough against Control because all they have as an out are Tribe Infecting Virus, Mirror Force, and Torrential Tribute. But we have this Trap Dust Shoot again, and so Tribe is not going to be one of those cards. And then we can play around Mirror Force and TT. Playing something like Cool Tune. And modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetypes are insane. They are truly crazy. We have no Dark yet. I'm thinking that he probably has a Moth in hand. If he's only playing one, that's like, that seems unlikely to me. And so probably having to deal with what if he just sets Moth. That would be pretty rough. I wanted to see Megamorph. Megamorph would have been awesome. Megamorph would have been truly insane. All right, we have a Book of Moon, a Dekoichi, a Sakuretsu Armor, a Sorcerer, the Moth indeed that we knew about, TT, Goat, and BLS. Oh gosh, it's the Moth, right? It's the Moth, right? I mean, Deko's the Dark, and so it's between Moth and Deko. Book of Moon does nothing. Sakuretsu Armor does nothing. TT you can play around. Goats is too good, but nothing you can do about that. Moth is going to go insane, though, right? Moth just goes into Graceful Charity, and then Graceful Charity, at worst case scenario for Shifter, you can just ditch the Sorcerer for BLS. I mean, one thing about it is that Sorcerer is not an answer to King Dragoon, but BLS is, and so I guess you could have also have chosen just BLS instead. But this way, at least you can get over this Moth, which we know for a fact is Moth, with Cyberstein, theoretically. Probably Shifty will actually just use his Sakuretsu Armor on it. Is Sight still playing his Unique Brew? He is. He is indeed. This is swag. It is the Sight special. Alright, Sight, what are we going to do to fight back from this? Another knock would be excellent. Another knock would be truly amazing. But how many of those do we have? I'm not sure. We are only 7 cards deep into the deck. So having 2 knocks I feel like is asking for a lot. He's in a bit of trouble here. It's like once this resolves, another Graceful Charity, that's like, your Dragoon is not going to be enough at that point. Sight build can lose hard to shoot. Yeah. It can also win hard to shoot though, right? Because it doesn't play that many monsters, and so you can just go neg 1, and it can also send back targets into the deck that Sight would rather be in the deck. Like sometimes you don't really want to hard draw Cyberstein. or Visor Shock. There it is, Visor Shock. This is amazing. If I mean, TT is a card that we know about, right? And so did he set it? Did he set TT? Because if he did, this is like a very, very easy TT, I think. Maybe it isn't that easy, right? Because then you have a Sork that's dead, a BLS that's dead, and then you have, and then what? Nothing, right? Book of Moon, maybe. Yeah, no, I don't know. TT here obviously very, very good because like King Dragoon is like really holding this fort down. Um, yeah, I don't know. This is Sight. He always finds a way. He always finds a way. I think you have to TT, but it does not represent actually like a really great outcome for you. You have 5 cards to Sight's 2, which is obviously amazing. Like obviously amazing, but you're the cards you have are like not actionable. Like you can't kill Sight with them. Because the alternative is if you let all these cards go to hand, just like, oof, you know. I'm thinking that he's not going to be able to at least get in to life points because I'm thinking we have at least Scapegoat, right? Yeah. I think I think he's thinking, do I TT? It's either TT or Scapegoats, and I think the answer is probably Scapegoats, right? He is choosing TT. It's going to be interesting until Sight just throws down this huge, big, fat My Body as a shield. Yeah, there goes the Moth. There goes the King Dragoon, Visor Shock. The rest goes back to hand. He's got 5 cards. Sight has 2. Sight is already normal summoned, and so things are going to be looking pretty hard. That's true. 4,900 life points. I suspected it would just be the pass. I suspected it would be. But we also do not have any monsters on Shifty's end, which is pretty rough, considering that you have 6 cards. We know a lot of the 6 cards, though. We know Book of Moon, we know Sakuretsu Armor, we know Sork and BLS, and Goats. And so he would have, I guess, we know all of his cards, except for the one that he drew for turn. And this is going to be really rough for Sight, though. He has to get through a Sakuretsu Armor, get through a Book of Moon, get through Scapegoat. And all the while, whenever our friend Shifty grabs a Dark, things are going to be looking rough. So once he got a Dark, he can summon Chaos Sorcerer, and then once Chaos Sorcerer goes to the graveyard, he can summon BLS. Or he can just summon BLS if it's just going to be game. Yeah, things are looking rough. Things are looking rough for Sight, but I'm telling you, he finds a way to do it. He finds a way to do it. This is just a set 1 pass here. Breaker is perhaps the very best Dark monster in the game. Egg. Hit him with the egg. Hit him with the egg. Obviously, Sight cannot do something like Ring of Destruction this, or else he just loses. And so there's really, I mean, the best case scenario, obviously, is that this is just Scapegoat. I'm thinking if you are Shifty, you might just attack. Yeah, it's Scapegoat, right? I think he maybe just attack. I mean, it plays a little bit better on Snatch Steal. In fact, if I were Sight, I might have chained Goat to Breaker Summon so that you could theoretically Snatch Steal it. If you had top deck into that. I would maybe have chained this to the summon. Yeah, but this is really rough because like breaker is going to represent some amount of pressure, but then also it represents just a dark going to grave at some point, right? And so you have to figure out a way to make sure that never happens, but then also stop it from killing you. Breaker's art is so cool, just by the way. What do you guys imagine is this? Is that part of his cape, or is it like a rock or something? Because I always see it as part of his cape, but I don't think it is, because like his cape is pretty red. And so I guess the underside of it could be green. That's kind of like a cool contrast thing, but I think it's kind of just like not that, right? It's kind of just like not that. I'm thinking what Sight really needs is for this card exactly to be Morphing Jar. I think we want our friend the Morph. We have not seen Sight play the jars today. Straight to battle phase, attacking the face down. It is Tsukuyomi. I mean, you know. Do you know the trap card Spell Vanishing? Yeah, I do. I do know that trap card. It is not good. Look it up, the effect. It's like it kills things that have spell tokens, right? Discard 2 from your hands, negate the activation of a spell card and destroy it. Also look at your stuff and destroy that. That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking of spell exhaustion. Yeah, I'm thinking Morphing Jar was the thing. I'm thinking, did Sight set that Sook as a knock bait, or is Sight just like in trouble? What are we getting here? We're gonna get Visor Shock. Okay, we're gonna get Visor Shock. I mean that's not great because it gives him back Breaker. It is great insofar as it. Oh my gosh, is Archer live? It does make it so that he cannot chain goats to this because he's been blocked. And so if he has Archer, is that game? That's 22 plus 24. It's not game. That's not game either. Sights. That's not game either. How are you gonna stop this breaker? Is this just like Secret Barrel? That would be awesome. That would be. Oh my gosh. How did Sight do that? How did he do it? He always finds a way. He always finds a way. Oh my gosh. How did he do that? How did he do it? He played around everything. Oh, Shifty's probably sick. If he didn't set that second monster, it would have played around Visor Shocks. He could have just goaded. Oh my gosh, how did he pull that out? Sight, you are insane. All right, so let's. Oh my gosh, Sight, you're crazy. You're crazy. Let's hop back to the freaking bracket, which is updated. Oh my god. Sight says he's taking a 3-minute break. He's taking a 3-minute break. I think he deserves it. Sight, you're going freaking insane right now. All right, so Sight is going to be playing Leah in grand finals. Be playing Leah grand finals. Boom! I've already updated grand finals. Already updated it. See, boom. Though, is there a way for us to? I think we call it grand finals, and then if Sight wins, I'll write like bracket reset maybe. Or like bracket reset. But yeah, that was truly an insane turn of events. Visor Shock went incredibly hard there. It went incredibly hard. And Sight had the cards he needed. He had to put that together though. That was not an easy put together, but he found it. So unfortunately, that means that Shifty is not going to receive his invite to the GOAT Format World Championship from this Obelisk. I am confident that he is going to get it elsewhere. he's got still another whole quarter. So we're definitely going to be seeing him in October. But will we be seeing Leah? Or will Sight prevent the invite being given now? Will he accept the second invite onto himself? That's what we're going to find out. That's what we're waiting for. Truly incredible. Truly incredible. Hope you guys have been enjoying the stream. Sorry, I was a little bit quiet eating my chickie during that match. I guess while we wait, Easy to Slay who's playing. All right. All right, let's watch. Let's watch. Let's watch Easy to Slay. Let's watch. Come on, guys. Let's watch. Don't resist. It's Easy to Slay you time. It's Easy to Slay you time while we wait. Playing against JCVD. I wonder if this is a Friday tournament game, because both these duelists are known entities in the GOAT format space. Things are looking pretty rough for Easy, though. He doesn't have a whole lot of cards. We are not attacking with Chaos Sorcerer. Seems a little bit weird. You know Gumo is my favorite deck. You're right. I love this deck. I love this deck. Did he banish Blade Knight this turn? Is that why he didn't flip this? I think he definitely put it to attack mode, though, because otherwise Gumo can just get over it. I think putting this in defense is a mistake. A capital one. Capital M mistake. Capital One. Not sponsored. Trying to keep a chat on an eye on the Discord to make sure we don't miss the Sight match start. Oh, here's Swift Guy off the top. And just when things are looking bad for Easy to Slay you, he is another duelist who just finds a way to bring it back. Never mind. JCVD has pot agreed and everything is going to be fine. Sumo Gumo is such a prison deck. It's pretty rough. There is not a whole lot you can do about it. Alright, Sangan going to attack into DD Assailant. I think that makes sense to me. Go grab whatever you want. Drop that Stork in defense mode and banish the Swift Gaia. Go grab whatever you want. Banish the Swift Gaia. Sook is pretty okay. Good against Gumo. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me. I think if not for this Pot of Greed, things would be looking pretty good. Oh, Leah grabbing me. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Leah. They are playing. We almost missed it. What's it? They did not post in the top 4 chat. They're just on the game. All right. So what we missed was that it looks like Sight went first and did his classic Berserk Gorilla summon pass. Leah. Leah's here. Leah's like, I want my invitation to the Go Format World Championship, and I don't want Sight to get in my way. And so, in order to facilitate that, he is going to be dumping these 2 monsters. And obviously at this junction, you're always looking at, oh, whoa, main deck decree. Main deck decree does not receive a response. You're always looking at this and you're like, is this Magician of Faith exactly? High value spell card in the graveyard. And so you're like, do I go out of my way to try to out this and make sure that they cannot graceful again? Or do you take the risk and you just attack? Obviously, it's something better than Dekoichi because you threw Dekoichi away, and so it could also just be Spy. Unfortunately, with Berserk Gorilla, you do have to attack. I think it actually forces you to click battle phase. You cannot just skip. It forces you into the battle phase. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I'm pretty sure. And so we are going to find out what this is pretty much no matter what. So it's a really kind of a question of, does Sight have a way to out this monster? Or does he not fear it? Alright, Sangan. I think you're forced to attack with Gorilla, yeah. It's Spy. That does not represent the worst outcome. But it's still a pretty clean +1 for Leah. Attacking is mandatory, yeah. You just gotta play creature swap, give your opponent Berserk Gorilla, and then play Hell Poemer, and you just win the game. Pot of Green off the top looking pretty good. And once again, Sight is kind of in a position where he needs to figure out what to do. What to do with these opponents that are playing meta with all of these Trinity pieces. I think this Royal Decree is going to put in a lot of work. It looks like Leah does not have anything to get additional value. I'm suspecting if they had a Magician of Faith, they probably would set it now. Because they know that... I guess Sight can always attack into a Gravekeeper Spy instead of attacking the face down. But... Tribe Infecting Virus, an incredible card at this point. You're going to get rid of the Cyberstein. And we're bringing it back, and that is just freaking game. That is just freaking game. Unless Leah has Scapegoat or Book of Moon. Those are pretty much your 2 outs. Or Mirror Force MST would be pretty good here. Unfortunately for Sight, he cannot grab something like Senshi. He can grab King Dragoon? He cannot. That's 300 life points short. He has to take Master of Oz. He must. Viewing deck means we're out of there. How does Sight do it? Literally, how does he do it? He finds a way. Sight finds a way. I want everyone... What is Sight's deck called? It is a Stein OTK strategy that is colloquially known as SWAG, which is an acronym that stands for Scapegoats, Will, as in Last Will, Amazoness, as in Amazoness Archer. Wait. And... No, S is Stein, W is Will, A is Archer, and G is Scapegoat. So yeah, the goal of it basically is to win either through... It's to win using Last Will in order to get these huge, like, Stein monster, huge Lily monster. Indeed, very swag. To attack in. And then Amazoness Archer, it comes up a lot. Amazoness Archer can do a lot of damage in the battle phase, and then in the main phase to burn for 24 extra with goats. And so it is it's a toolbox deck in a similar way to Warriors being a toolbox deck, except instead of the toolbox being Warriors with Rhoda, it is high value, low attack point monsters using Last Will. Is what I would describe it as. All right, let's lock in, guys. We have Delinquent Duo, which is a very, very good card against any combo deck, and so we'll see what Sight is forced to pitch. Metamorphosis, and do we have a high value monster to go throw, like Visor? Okay. Scapegoat going to the bin. My speculation is that means he probably has another goat. Pot of Greed, man. Pot of Greed, man. Rail my dad says, hi, Petty. Hello. Hello. Hello, Spooky. This is Grand Final Sight against Leah. Sight is coming from loser's bracket. Leah's coming from winners. And so if Sight wins this match, he is currently up 1. If he wins this match, he will reset the bracket. And then we'll go into real grand finals for real. The Sight has already received an invitation to the GOAT Format World Championship. Leah has not. Leah has not. But what Leah has is Duo into Pot of Greed into Trap Dash Shoot. But Sight, he always finds a way. Sight does have an invite, yes. Yes, he does. And we are happy about that. We want to see Sight in October. We want to see him. We also want to see Leah, to be honest. Leah and Sight, I think these two, I have no idea of whether these duelists think about it this way, but I think they have a bit of a rivalry because they were both on their respective War League teams, like the best player on their team, and just had like an amazing season. And so I think that they had this kind of like face-off back a few months ago. And Leah got the W. And so I'm wondering, will Sight be able to get the W this time? I want to see Swag win Worlds. I think that would be huge for GOAT Format. I think that would be huge. Though, I don't know. Last year, Panda won, right? I think that was also pretty big. I think that goes to show that the format has a lot of depth to it. I think in this Obelisk and frankly in the GFC, geez, that GFC was crazy. We're seeing a lot of creativity. I think 2026 has been really good for GOATs. I think 2025 was also really good for GOATs. We saw Easy to Slay use like massive success with his new deck. Panda is the spiciest thing to win Worlds. I believe that's, as far as I know, that's the case, yes. That is the case. And what's funny is you did not really necessarily see an explosion of interest in Panda Burn since then. It's so weird how you pronounce Leah nickname. I always say it the French way because he's from there. I don't know how to say it. I've just been saying it that way. Because how do you say it? Heavy Storm goes neg 1, but I don't think Sight cares about that. Because Sight is just going to be summoning Cyberstein into... Is it just Dragoon again? It can't be. It is Balter. That makes sense. Balter is going to negate, hopefully, this Moth. Balter is going to negate the DD Warrior Lady. Okay. Okay. Yeah, if anyone can tell me how to pronounce this duelist name. The French way. I'm not convinced. I've never taken French. I can speak Estonian. If there are any Estonian duelists, shout out to you. We can chat. I can speak Estonian. That's my claim to fame. Tribe Infecting Virus is going to be an incredible thing to overcome. Graceful Charity. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, that's because it would negate. That's why. That's why I activated that way. Spooky says the past couple of years have been pretty great for Spice. I agree. I mean, Turbo obviously has its representation in every event. Is this exact lethal? It is exact lethal. That's rough. That's rough, Sight. We're going to game 3, probably. Unless we drop the fancy Kariba right now. Just click the vocal button. I don't know what that means. I do not know what the vocal button means. Hits him with the dang GG. That was indeed a dang GG situation. All right, so we are rapidly approaching the end here, guys. If Sight wins, we get a bracket reset. If he loses, then we are getting an additional member in the Go Format World Championship. You can make Google Translate to pronounce the words for you. Of course you can. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not going to do that because I'm currently streaming. And if I did it, then everyone would hear the Google pronounce it while we're doing something else. And so I'm not going to do that. All right, Sight's going first. Sight's going first. Will he drop some Trinity here? I think we have passed the point where if he had Trinity, he would have just dropped it. So I'm thinking probably no. I think unfortunately, probably not. The Humble Tea. The Humble Tea. Will we get a response? They completed the T. The double T. No trap dust shoot coming. That is in Sight's favor. I wonder what is this card that Sight set? It could be a jar. A jar would be pretty good here. Jar would work a lot in terms of moving us to this bracket reset. You hear Sight on some swag? You hear correctly. Sight is indeed on his deck. Injection Fairy Lily. That tells me that we're probably going to be removing this face down. Indeed. We have the... Ooh, getting rid of Spy is pretty nice, too. Injection Fairy Lily with her incredibly large needle. Full of green liquid. And that's so much liquid. It's like there's the size of the plunger, the volume of that is like the size of her chest. So she's going to be... Her patience must be humongous. This is a lot of life points to lose. Mirror Force will say no thank you. I'd like to keep 3,400 of my life points. That's not an awful trade though, because now we have Injection Fairy Lily in the grave, which is more accessible than in the deck. Shining Angel. We have not seen that in Sight's match. I think he did summon it against Shifty, if I recall. We are hitting Sinister Serpent. That is a-okay as far as Sight's concerned. Will he take it back into hand? I think you do. I think even with Dust Shoot, you still do. I think you definitely do. Gorilla's here, okay. So I wonder what is the target off the Shining Angel? I think that Leah plays both DD Warrior Lady, but then also Roulette Barrel, which could have been an interesting grab in this instance. But instead we elected to grab just another Shining Angel. Put that to defense mode. It must be attacked by this Berserk Gorilla, and so you can always thin out your deck a little bit more. Not choosing to set any other cards. This tells me that maybe one of these cards is Goaters. Though, do we know whether Leah plays Goaters? I suspect that he's not. Oh, some okay. All right, we know that we knew about that Sinister Serpent too. Torrential Tribute coming down. That's pretty good. It's a 2 for 2. And so Sight didn't lose any card advantage, but he did lose. That feels, in terms of like the pace of play and like who's on the back foot, it feels kind of like that was a big swing. That being said, now both Mirror Force and TT are gone, and so Sight's like, okay, the rest of your back row is not nearly as scary anymore. Not nearly as scary. You set this card, but he's like, I don't know if I care. Will he grab Sinister Serpent? I actually don't know. I think you Fear Trap Dust Shoot here. He did it. All right. Any punish? Pass Prio. Looking like this is a punish. Oh, this. Oh, what a stinker. What a stinker. No punish after all. He had me going, though. He really had me going. I thought for sure. R.I.P. Harambe. R.I.P. Raigeki Break on the back row. That's interesting. You're not going to Raigeki Break the monster because you're suspecting that's probably just Sinister Serpent. And you... Oh, whoa. That was a pretty good snipe. I'm thinking we're going to get our friend the Blacklusted one coming down. Leave with the trolls. There's the Blacklusted one. Is this indeed Sinister Serpent? He's thinking, do we have our friend Torrential Tribute, maybe? That would be pretty nice. I don't think that Sight plays it. Here's the Blacklusted one. It was indeed Sinister Serpent. That's a rough loss here. That's a pretty rough loss. Snatch Seal would go pretty hard here. Snatch Seal. We have one light in graveyard, and so once you remove this BLS, one Chaos Orc is already gone too, and so you don't really have to worry about Chaos so much anymore. If you can remove this BLS, then things are looking pretty nice, but if you can't, things are looking bad. Are there deck list ups for this tourney? No. However, I think that they will be released. I believe that we have coverage of them on goformat.com after the conclusion of the tournament. I believe so. Divine Wrath would have went insane there. But I don't count Sight out, even though he's facing down this Blacklusted one, because he has more cards than Leah, which is not the normal state of affairs. And so if either of these are Scapegoat, he can buy himself some time, and some time is maybe what we want here. Time is maybe what we want. Cyberstein. Okay, this is an interesting thing. Do you get Thousand Eyes Restrict? Do you get Thousand Eyes Restrict? You get King Dragoon. United we stand. Okay, I mean, obviously, if they have like Regeki Break or MST onto this United we stand, things are not looking good. Yeah, Sight knows. Sight knew that was a risk, and what's particularly bad about this situation is now Mirror Force is gone, and so it's like if really everything came down to he sniped that Mirror Force. Like, oh, that's really rough. I mean, this BLS is probably going to be forced to banish Cyberstein instead of attacking because it's 3 back row, and so you're kind of afraid of that. You're kind of afraid, and it can't banish King Dragoon, obviously, and so... Okay, we're attacking. This is lethal, if he can get through. And it looks like he might. With the GG. What with a back row? Okay, guys. We have a new invitee to the Go For Mount World Championship. This is a Leah W. He super deserved it. He entered this Obelisk. He did not lose a single time. He did not lose, guys. He just blasted through this. He had goats. Oh. Yeah, I mean, Terror would have been pretty nice. Ceasefire, Acid Trap. Yeah, that's not going to do much. Terror would have been pretty nice because he could have MST'd BLS from Tear, but then Tear can suck another monster, right? And so it's kind of like, but then it loses to Regeki Break, and so it's really tough. Oh, he had Tribe anyway. He had Tribe anyway. He had Tribe anyway. He had Tribe anyway. Yeah. Now these are 2 duelists that could potentially have another rematch in October. Could have another rematch in October. I think you're supposed to tear. I think you're supposed to tear. I don't know though, because like if he didn't have MST Regeki Break, King Dragoon with United We Stand goes pretty freaking crazy. Then again, Tear with United We Stand goes pretty crazy. Yeah. So it looks like that's gonna be it, guys. I'm happy that you all hung out with me today. I think this was a really fun Obelisk. I'm happy to see the result that we got. I think that Leah making it its way to the Go For Mount World Championship is kind of like what we want. High quality duelists there, and that's exactly what we got. And I think Sight gave us a show to get to grand finals. That was an incredible match against Shifty. I'm just like still kind of laughing about it. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm gonna sign off here, but I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you in the next one.